Alrighty, what's going on? Today I have yet another Lego MOC for you guys. So I know I don't upload these often because typically I'm doing things with my MOCs instead of making completely new ones, but today I decided to make another one and make a video on it. So this MOC was inspired by the Obi-Wan's Hut Lego set. I got given this and I thought it was such a cool set that I would like to make my own sort of mini Tatooine build off of this. Now this is meant to be a Tatooine outpost, and the lore behind this is kind of like I haven't actually made videos on it, so I don't assume anyone would know, but basically the story is that this is a secluded outpost in Tatooine that the Empire has not come to. This is set in between episodes 3 and 4, and there's a Mandalorian or two here. And a few Mandalorians have teamed up with the Rebels to come to this planet to hide from the Empire. So that's kind of a basic background on this MOC. This MOC took me exactly a week to make, not very long, but I feel like I did a pretty good job for that. It's not quite as big as my Mandalorian base MOC that I unfortunately had to take a few parts off of to make this, which is kind of sad. But if you've already seen my video on that I made back in December, then you'll know what it looks like. If you watch that video and my other MOC video, then you'll know my preferred building style is this rugged, sort of almost post-apocalyptic looking building style. Basically, people using whatever resources they can that they find around the land to build things. So whatever leftover scrap, steel, or in this case, sand, stone, and stuff like that to make their buildings and stuff. So that's why a lot of my builds look rugged, is because, well, they're supposed to. Without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this because it's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool. So starting up on the front here, yes, I know these are not real Lego base plates, but my other gray Lego base plates are actually being used over there, and I really don't want to take those off. So I went ahead and just used these. It's not hurting anything. But this is kind of just like a landing pad. This table is meant to represent a mountain, so this would kind of be the edge of a cliff where, you know, maybe back here there'd be a little bit more landing pad, but for the most part, it's just this. This is supposed to be like a smaller Tatooine little outpost with just like a few people at it. So yeah, it's nothing too fancy. And you can see we got a couple Rebel ships landed here with Rebels and Mandalorians heading over to discuss with these people who live in this town about what their battle plans are, probably to hide. We have a little control panel over here and just a couple things to kind of help give some life and some essence to this, so it's not just a gray base plate. But other than that, it's kind of just a gray base plate. Now moving up here, got some Tusken Raiders journeying into town. Hopefully don't do anything stupid. Over here we have the Obi-Wan's Hut set, which surprisingly when you fold it up is very, very small, but I liked how it looked so much, I mean, I decided to make a MOC off of it. If we open it up here, you'll see I changed a bit of the interior around, put a little bed in the corner, moved a couple of the chairs. So there's a little bit more room inside just because when it's closed up, it's really closed up. Great set, by the way. I highly recommend buying this one. If it's still on market, I actually don't know if you can still get this, but yeah, if you're looking to build any sort of Tatooine MOC or any just sand-based MOC for Star Wars, buy like 5 of these and just make a little town out of them. It'll be nice. Now across the way, we have the Mandalorian Forge Set. Now this is kind of how lore-wise I fit in the Mandalorians and the Rebels sort of teaming up, so that I could have this little Mandalorian Forge, which is how anybody knew about this secluded place anyways. It's literally just the Mandalorian Forge set. Unlike the hut over there, I didn't actually change anything. It's pretty much, for pretty much the most part, pretty much the same. Now moving out here, I had an interesting way of doing this. So you can see I used these bricks to connect the different base plates that I used, but I tried to make them more than just random bricks. So I basically added all of these extra detailing pieces around, so it kind of looks like just sand. It's just sand that's kind of piled up. These are just supposed to represent sort of sand mounds. You know, it's a desert planet with lots of sand blowing around. It's not just going to be completely flat. And then next we have the Watchtower. This is probably the most rugged looking build out of the whole thing, but I really actually like how it turned out. You can see how I used these like window / door pieces to make these almost skeleton looking things, like the skeleton and the scaffolding of a building. And I do this often in my MOCs. This is just another example where you can see I use them. And then these pieces right here, I don't know what you call these, but I really love these. how it creates this super industrial feel. It feels like the Rust map from Call of Duty. If we go up here, you just got some steps up to this little platform and a chest up there, and then we can take this ladder up here where you can look out for maybe some incoming Tusken Raiders. But if we go over here, you can access this big ladder, which will take you up to the main control panel, which is where you can see, you know, different ships that have landed in the area and stuff, and basically like a radar. This was taken from the Garmentron Ninjago set, by the way. Great sticker detailing. I love using this on almost every MOC that I make. Now, something beside it is a little bit weird though. This was just kind of an in-the-moment thing. I didn't really have like any basis for this. I was like, oh, let's just try this. And I actually really like how it turned out. And there's a reason that there's nothing around here. This is meant to be a crevice. Like I said, this is meant to be up on a mountain. So this will be a very big crevice or ravine in the land where this was built over. And if we go all the way out here, you can see this little section here, which down there is containing some sort of monster, some sort of beast, living within this sort of cave-ish area. So do your best not to fall off of here. That's why the bricks end here, is because this is actually just supposed to be open space. Now over here, we have a house that I'm actually very proud of. I built this in one day. Took me quite a few hours to try to get this right, because I really wanted to get it perfect. But I believe I did. So this house doubles as a business. You can see the business logo there. Good parts use in my opinion. And over here, you can see the window where people would go and receive their items from. Now, if we go ahead and we remove the top of this house, you might notice some similarities. So this house, you can see the guy stands here, people walk up and he's selling food or whatever. You can find it in this chest. And yeah, that's basically just to that part. But we got a little shelf here and table and chairs and a bed back here. And I tried to make this really similar to the Obi-Wan's hut. So you can see how on the walls, there's these shelves full of lots of these sort of items, and I honestly don't know what they are. Got a table and chairs, and then over here we have a bed that I put in this little arc. So I tried to make it sort of the same way over here, where I have a bigger bed put in a bigger arc. Table and chairs, and then shelves with stuff. I tried to make as many similarities as possible, just so it's not like every single building is like completely different from the other. The only difference really that I tried to make is the color scheme with this one. It's also a different shape, but that was bound to happen because I don't want all the houses being as tiny as that. I really like a lot of the pieces that I found for this. I managed to all around make it have pretty much the same feel. Got circular windows over here, got the big circular window over here, and then this entryway I really like. It reminds me of something you'd see in maybe like some really fancy, like the Taj Mahal or something like that. I really like this entrance. And I tried to continue this sort of Minecraft wood colored line around the side all the way up until this. Moving on over, right beside it, we have a bit of a different house. So this house, as you'll notice, the I don't know if you call this backyard, I guess, even though they don't really have yards. The area behind the house is made out of a different type of sand because I wanted to have some variation. I didn't want the entire thing to just be plain sand. Also, I don't have enough base plates to finish this off with normal sand, so I decided I would just kind of go do a one-off thing and put this sort of, it almost looks like quicksand, but that's not what it's meant to be. I would just put this different color of sand, this darker sand, and you can see some even around the Obi-Wan's hut set. Just to kind of break up the feel. But this house, I nicknamed this the Minecraft house because I feel like this is something you would see in Minecraft. I tried to give this one the most unique design of them all. This one was very rounded off and very much like the Obi-Wan's hut. So this one I tried to make a little bit more square, and I feel like I did a really good job at that. You can see we got the door up front looking very modern, surprisingly. And then we have the stairs, and underneath another entry to the house. Going up to this very big roof area, which I really like the colors. They almost clash in such a perfect way with this gray lining with, once again, this Minecraft wood colored brick. Now if we go over here, you can see an open entryway, and then the entire back of the house is open. I really like how this looks. I could have put a back on it, but then I decided that I liked how it looks so much, it would be fine. And there's not really going to be any rain on a desert planet, so you don't really have to worry about that. Very simple house actually all around. You got a bed, you got a table and a chair and a chest. Pretty much all you need because these people are going to be working outside all day long. And in the backyard, once again, you got this different color Just don't step too far that way or else you might meet your demise. Like I said, this MOC isn't very big. It only took me about a week to make, and honestly, I'm still very proud of it. I feel like I did a great job with the lore implementations. Even though you guys don't know the lore of this, I basically just explained. Rebels and a few Mandalorians team up to go meet another Mandalorian at a secluded base because they're running from the Empire, who may or may not have just blown up their last Rebel base. I'm very, very proud of how this MOC turned out, and while it may be small, it is, in my opinion, stunningly detailed compared to what I normally do. And personally, this is going to go down as one of my favorite MOCs that I've ever made just because of how unique it is. You have the landing pad area over there, instantly goes into this sort of industrial town look, and then you have this really weird crevice area that I'm really happy with. If you guys want to see more MOCs like this, hit the like button. Likes aren't everything, but if you want to see more of these, a few likes will definitely give me more incentive to do these. Comment down below what you think I might be able to add to this, or what I should have done if you think there's something wrong, or praises if you think this is good. I do wish that I could have added maybe a moisture farmer, like a, not like the people, but like the physical build of like a moisture thing. I don't know what they're called. The big white things that suck in moisture, because Tatooine's a desert planet. I wish I could have added those, but I just simply do not have the pieces to make that because I don't know how to make that. But from what I've seen, they have a lot of these really intricate designs. I could be completely wrong. I just really have no clue on how to make them. That's about all I wanted to add to this MOC. Very proud that a week of work turned into this. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Like the video if you want to see more MOCs like this. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next one.